In this world, the eyes say more than the mouth. Welcome back to Masculine Cinema, where we dissect iconic movies, their themes, and why they resonate deeply, especially among men. In today's episode, we will discuss the setting stage of the movie Scarface, its distraught protagonist, Tony Montana, what makes him ruthlessly ambitious, and his rise to power and fall from grace. An era of sun-soaked beaches, neon lights, and the allure of easy money. The movie captures the spirit of the decade, hedonistic, raw, and volatile. An environment that shaped Montana's aggressive ambition and his quest for power. Miami in the 1980s, a character in itself, was a melting pot of cultures, ambitious and the notorious drug trade, and was the backdrop of Tony Montana's rise, a symbol of aggressive masculinity in a world that demanded it. Tony Montana, a Cuban refugee with nothing but raw ambition, arrives in Miami, the land of opportunity as Tony calls it himself. However, this land isn't so welcoming for Tony, as he is interrogated and thrown into a detention center. This experience shapes Tony's mindset, and in his mind ruthlessness is essential for survival and a way to move forward. Once out of the detention center, Tony and his crime partner, Manny Ray, find themselves living a life of desperation, barely making a living for themselves, watching men across the road in their luxurious cars and beautiful women. This desperate situation fuels Tony's ambition. The film perfectly showcases the past experiences of our protagonist and how his current situation has made him ruthlessly ambitious. This pushes him further into the crime world, and his desire to take what he wants allows him to commit heinous crimes to build his empire. Tony has his big breakthrough when his drug collection is hit by a rival cartel. Despite the odds stacked against him, Tony not only manages to survive, but he also recovers the collection money, earning him his recognition in the eyes of the local drug lords. As his boss Frank says at one point, "You get a guy like that on your side, he breaks his back for you." But little does Frank know that the charade of loyalty and survival instinct is a mask beneath which lies an insatiable hunger of power and ruthless ambition. As Tony expands his drug empire, he turns his eyes on the ultimate prize, the disappointed trophy wife, Elvira Hancock, wife of his former boss, Frank Lopez. Fueled by his feeling to be loved, Tony disposes of Frank and marries Elvira. At the same time, Tony's drug empire continues to prosper, allowing him to bring his sister Gina in. Tony's continued ambition pushes him to the top of the life that he once imagined is now at his feet. But, as we say, when one rises to the very top, the process to bring him down has already started. As Montana delves deeper into Miami's criminal underworld, his hunger for power becomes insatiable. Every move, every alliance, every betrayal is fueled by the relentlessness desire to rise to the top. As the empire grows, so do Montana's enemies and his own internal demons. The world he has built, grounded in drugs, betrayal, and violence, begins to show its cracks. The government crackdown on his drug empire grows stronger by the day. Tony has to be on the run and save his failing drug empire, staying away from his wife, his family, and his friend Manny, becoming increasingly suspicious of their loyalty. Tony's downfall is marked by his insane ambition and his insatiable desire for power. Tony's judgment becomes clouded with rage and fear of losing everything. His relationship with Elvira blows up in his face, and his enemies prepare to take him down. In a moment of fear, Tony makes the worst mistake of his life. After discovering the relationship between his best friend Manny and his sister Gina, he feels betrayed and is enraged, kills his friend Manny. This event marks the beginning of the end of Tony's story, as Tony overplays his hand and his enemies send in a hit squad to finish him off. In the end, Tony's biggest enemy is his own ambition. His violent instincts and his ruthless ambition help him build his empire but never teaches Tony when to stop. Montana's ambition becomes his own worst enemy, His refusal to bow down, even in the face of overwhelming odds, paints a tragic portrait of a man who, while larger than life, is profoundly human.
Say hello to my little friend!
In his last moments, Montana faces the consequences of his choices, a titan brought down, not just by external forces, but by the very ambition that drove him to greatness. Tony Montana, the embodiment of assertive masculinity, is the character that has intrigued audiences, especially men, since Al Pacino brought him to life in Scarface. His journey is an exploration of what manhood meant in the gritty underworld of 1980s Miami. From the outset, Tony's ambition is evident. Arriving in Miami as a refugee, he quickly sets his sights on a life beyond the camps. His relentless drive stems from a desire to escape poverty, as well as confines and circumstances. Tony's relationship with Manny, his loyal right-hand man, gives us insight to his loyalty and desire for a familiar bond. But as we delve deeper, we see that even these bonds are tested in the face of power and jealousy. One of the most significant transformations in the narrative is when Tony asserts Frank Lopez and takes control of the drug empire. This rise to power highlights the theme of the American dream, its promises and its pitfalls. Yet, Montana's idea for the American dream isn't just about wealth. It's about respect, dominance, and leaving a legacy. His extravagant mansion with the neon "The world is yours" blimp symbolizes this distorted aspiration. His relationship with Elvira mirrors his ambition. He desires her not just in a romantic partner, but as a status symbol, an emblem of his victory over Frank and his claim to power. However, with power comes paranoia. Tony becomes increasingly distrustful, even with those closest to him. His heavy cocaine use amplifies his paranoia, leading him down a path of self-destruction. The violence in Scarface isn't just a shock value. Each act brutally paints a picture of Tony's psyche, impulsive, ruthless, yet strategic. His unflattering ambition, combined with the lack of moral restraint, makes him a force to be reckoned with. Tony's downfall is as meteoric as his rise. In his final moments, amidst the chaos of gunfire and betrayal, Tony remains defiant. This end is a testament to his character, unyielding, ferocious, and tragically flawed. Tony Montana is not just a drug lord. He's a symbol representing the extremes of ambition, the allure of dangers with power, and the cost of the American dream. He's a reminder of the lengths people will go to, and even to achieve their dreams and their vision of success, and the sacrifices they make along the way. In the heart of Miami's sprawling cityscape, Tony Montana stands as complex icon of ambition gone awry, a testament to the age-old adage, "Be careful what you wish for." The 1980s, a decade marked by excess and the lure of easy money. But how does Montana's journey compare to ambitions of today's generation? In an age of viral fame and instant gratification, are we more aligned with Montana's desires than we think we are? The movie resonates with young men of our era because it perfectly showcases the situation men face, torn between responsibilities and ambition, trying to do their best to be law-abiding citizens while others in privileged positions continue to exploit them. This movie shows that with great ambition comes a kill or be killed mindset, a mindset that fuels rage and desire for power. Through Montana, we are compelled to reflect on our own ambitions. What lengths would we go for success? What sacrifices are we, especially as men in society, willing to make? Even in his moments of power, Montana's vulnerability is palpable, a reminder that behind every mask of success lies a human with dreams, fears, and regrets. Thank you for journeying with us through this turbulent world of Scarface and the rise of Tony Montana. Join us next time as we explore how another cinematic icon shapes us all. What do you think about Tony Montana's rise and fall? How far are you willing to go for your ambitions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. But before we go, here's a look at what's to come. From the chaotic streets of Miami to the powerful corridors of the mafia.